This is the top 16. Thank you for supporting these tournaments greatly through liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much as you can of the video. Even if you just put it on in the background, YouTube tells me all about it. With that said, Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We have Dragon Link versus Purrely starting off with the Chaos Space. And Cock just says, ain't no way. I'm out of here. Dude, we had Droll and Lockbird. We even also had Ash Blossom. We even had Max C. So I think this is just an actual disconnection. It's similar to real life. You spill your juice all over the table. Does not matter how good your hand was. You have to take the loss, and we go on to the next game. Game 2. Purrely now going first after that mishap in game 1. Hajime, we have to deal with Veiler and Ash Blossom by using our quick play spell in the draw phase. It plays around Droll and Lockbird. It also plays around Effect Veiler. Veiler only usable in the main phase to negate a monster here. And it all comes down to this. We need a quick play spell, or we cannot make the X Purrely. There we go, we got happy. So now we could do Delicious, Purrely, Equip 2, and then the 5th material, except we get negated by the Veiler. Damn. What now? We could regular Purrely making nothing. We're not gonna even exceed? Holy moly, we got super disrupted by a single Veiler, while also Ash Blossom messed him up too. So Imperm Veiler on the Lily, that's a good play. If they had the Purrely Street, which I'm not playing 3 of, because of you saw how good that disruption was, the Purrely Street would have protected the Lily from even being negated. All right, let's go, let's go. In the duel rooms, we could see replays. We could see both players' hands. Now, Romulus is going to be searching for our Dragoonie Ravine. Ravine is going to be getting us access to our Tracer Dragon. We're going to be reborning from the graveyard our Rocket Synchron for a triple burst. Pisty going to be reborning the Striker Dragon on the field, making a Borland Dragon which can attack every single body on the field. Now, my friend Purrely, when a Purrely Exceed, not a Purrely monster, leaves the field because of an opponent, they're able to recycle 3 cards in the graveyard back to the hand. Now, this Borland Dragon negate, that's a permanent negate. The Lily was protected from battle destruction, but even for the next turn, it's not going to be able to make an Exceed. If you attempt to do so, it's a hard once per turn. You can't use your other copies. Do not make that mistake. Get ready? My friend Purrely, and we have nothing to stop it. We still have another negate with the Borland Dragon. Called by on a Purrely in the graveyard, that's going to be good to negate. Not going to be able to Exceed with the hand. Not going to be able to randomly add a card off the top of the deck. Come to me. Now, the Borland Dragon cannot be targeted by monster effects. Also can't be destroyed by battle. Cannot be destroyed by card effect. And has that monster negate. I think Purrely's screwed. There's no way to beat this. Borland, negate the Lily. Also permanently negating. We haven't even activated the Lily to Exceed with the graveyard. And we can't do so. A triple Exceed. What is this? A Nightingale. Now, the Nightingale can attack directly, and the Borland can't be destroyed, but it could be sent to the graveyard. So this actually works. This is it. Downer Magician into Zeus. Now, even though the Zeus has 4 materials at least to do double activation, the Borland, when it negates, your opponent cannot chain to your negate. So if we waited with the Borland for a Zeus, the Zeus would have not been able to wipe the field. Wipe out the entire field. And the crazy thing about Borland in the graveyard is if you can make a Striker Dragon, plus you have a Recharger in the graveyard, you could resummon the Borland. Holy moly, what the heck? Ravine, discard, add a, we could send the Absa Router, search for a Recharger, summon Recharger, make a Striker pop itself, add back the Recharger, summon Borland on the field. But there is an active Zeus, which could have stopped all that. The Chaos Space would also been able to, if we had a banished card, to return a card back in the deck to draw 1. But we did have a way to summon Borland. But as I just said, it would get disrupted. Okay, did not get lethaled, so we're good for another turn. Black Metal. Okay, so now we could force out the Zeus activation potentially, and then maybe have a follow-up play. Chaos Space, draw a card here. Come to me. Striker back in the action. Ooh, we got Labrynth, which could pop the Zeus. That'll definitely force it. Striker, activate. Does not activate since we don't have a boot sector launch. We're banishing for the Labrynth. Labrynth forcing the activation of the Zeus to send the fields. Very well done. And we still have our normal summon. Now we can do that play I was talking about, where Ravine could send Absolrouter, setting up the Recharger to then resummon Borland from the grave. Discard, sending Absolrouter. I mean, he knows the play. We're grabbing Rocket Tracer instead, even better than the Recharger. Recharger, Shokan into Chaos Ruler. Top 5 cards of the deck, mill 5, add a Light and Dark among those 5 cards. We got a Bestial now. Bestial, come to me, and also search for a dragon during the end phase. Come forth, banish, goodbye Purrely, Magna Hut activating, and we're gonna end on any decent disruption. We're locked into dark monsters from the extra deck only. No disruption. Maybe he doesn't know the Striker into Recharger play that I was talking about. It does not matter, because that is a scoop to a victory as Cock unfortunately lost his connection in game 1. Let's hop on another one. Ooh, it feels bad to Maxi in response to an Ecclesia, which the Ecclesia is now going to change to the Maxi. This is just bad all around. This should have been the standby phase, and it should have been chained to Ecclesia. Not, oh, whoops, I have to Maxi now. Protoss is here, locking the opponent out of Dark Summoning. Now, Dark Summoning in the mirror match, that's not really going to be doing anything. So let's get to it. Droll in Lockbird could be used on the resolution of draw 2, or we could just negate with the Bear in the floor. Negate. Imagine if Crossout could banish from the extra deck. Maybe they should make extra Crossout Designator, where it only works with banishing the extra deck to negate an extra deck monster on the field. Adhara, come forth and summon. Adhara is now going to be special summoning with the Ashuna, Shatana, using the Ecclesia with the Shatana to make a Baxia. Baxia is going to be able to spin up to 2 cards on the field back of the deck, but here we only have 1 because it's different attributes for your worm-type monsters, and we only had 1 worm for the summon. Baxia gets negated, and we completely scoop it up. We could not have followed up, use Baxia to pop a card to reborn a card because the Grandmaster does not negate the effect, it negates the card. The whole card was negated, no follow-up play. Let's hop into game 2. Long Yun. Long Yun gonna be hit with that Max C. And that's a draw 2. You don't summon the token at the same time. It's summon, then token. Valor can't even be used. Now, we got the Sinister Sovereign, which will banish a monster on special summon and burn for 1200. Also really good against field spells and continuous spells. So may as well banish that to burn for 1200 because we know the mirror match is not going to have any continuous spells that are going to be good. But against my friend Purrely and the Street field spell, this is good to counter it. Vishuda going to get banished off the field, that's it. Hard once per turns, both have been used up. Special summoning Ecclesia, revealing with the Mo Yi. Imperm, negate. Crossout Designate, negate. The negate. And we do have Blackout. Blackout could pop our worm plus 2 cards in the field. And this may be the moment right now. It's like, nah, I'm screwed. I'm out of here. Damn. 2-0. Let's go on another one. Duality, also locking us out of special summoning. June without the big welcome, and Lady, you up, mate? Setting up with the Labrynth, which will allow our welcome Labrynth to pop a card in the field. We draw into a Lady, it then gets discarded. We did not. We're gonna discard the Backjack. The Backjack's gonna look at the top 3 cards of our deck and manipulate the order of them. Then you could banish the Backjack to then set one of those traps, and then it's activatable. This is a really good turn 1 for Labrynth here. Cricket summoning a Camellia from the deck. Camellia is going to be sending from the deck to the graveyard. The Welcome Labrynth is going to be destroying the Camellia, which it's now not going to because the destruction will destroy. But the Welcome Labrynth will still, the big Welcome versus the Welcome. The big welcome is going to pop the Camellia with the field spell before it gets destroyed. Lady from the deck, pop Camellia, then pop the Labrynth, and then with the regular welcome Labrynth, we could be summoning a lovely Labrynth onto the field here. Now, it's important to note the secret effect of lovely Labrynth is you can't Ash Blossom the traps. You can't chain a monster effect to the traps. We're going to be triggering the Tourbillon Chandelier to add itself back to the hand and special summon. Lady is summoning itself onto the field. Now, a lot of people forget about this. If they activate a trap, do not forget that Lady wants to chain to the trap to set another trap from the deck. And you can chain link block it with pretty much anything. So you chain Naturia Blessing to the trap to stop the Lady. Herald of the Abyss is a way to deal with the next Purrely Nor. It's like a Kaiju. This is where we have to chain Naturia Blessing. This is going to be destroying the Camellia. There we go. Cam knows the way. Chain link block the Lady from setting a new trap. Very well done. Lovely triggers to pop a card in the hand randomly or the cricket on the field. Also, the backjacks. Wow. Like, this version of Labrynth feels nasty. Damn. Got a full draw 3 from the Demise. I think the game was over just from that play. Even though it has anti-synergy with the Lady, it still seemingly is worth it. The big welcome Labrynth could reborn a Lady or Lovely from the graveyard. A non-Labrynth trap could trigger the field spell to reborn your Lady or Labrynth from the graveyard, so discarding with the Demise is not that big of a deal. Cricket and the Smiting Storm. We're going to be summoning our Huggin. We have no disruption in sight. Let's speed this up. Now, getting Camellia out early is a good idea because if they normal summon, it triggers the Camellia to reborn the Cricket from the graveyard. Pot of Duality, that's it. We can't use the Lady for the rest of the turn. Pot of E cannot be used until next turn. This will trigger the Camellia, which it's going to be too late to negate with our Cricket going into the Sunflower, but we still have curses to negate. Negate. Also banishing the top 3 of the deck could be quite disruptive here. Lost the field spell, which is, I would say it's a hard one of in most decks. We are going to be special summoning a Sunflower from the deck. We now have our monster negate using the Slumber so that the Ariana cannot even declare an attack. Fountain, return 3, draw 3. This is way too much to deal with. We do have Compulse spin back. We have Terror sent to the graveyard. We have Ice Dragon Prison to banish a monster on the field. Baron to Floor going in onto the Ice Dragon Prison, reborning the Coral Dragon to not banish anything on the field because it needs to be the same monster type, or at least the same as a monster we already have in the field. Chaining Max C to the Lady summoning. Now the Lady is indestructible by card effect and cannot be targeted, but we could attack over it if we had a battle phase, which we do not. Does a Coral Dragon draw a card if sent to the graveyard? No. It's not going to be drawing a card if sent from the opponent's field because it was not synchro summoned. Baron to Floor negating the Compulse from spinning itself back into the extra deck. Also Chainlink blocking the Lady from setting a new trap from the deck. Now making a Trushilla. Trushilla, banished from the hand, banished from the field, banished from the graveyard. Triple banish. Tears the Overroot's going to send the field spell to the graveyard. And we're going to be chaining our Naturia Blessing. Again, Chainlink blocking the Lady from setting a trap. We're not allowing you to do it. Cam knows this matchup well. We're going to be setting a Max C onto the field with the effect of the Tears the Overroots. Goodbye for the Pot of E. Goodbye to the graveyard. Goodbye to the Lady on the field. Now Donner is here. Donner can pop a card in the field since we do not have a battle phase. That is way too much for us to deal with. Can Valiru open up with a card of Demise, maybe Duality play, turn 1 again? We'll find out. All right, there is our 1 Labrynth, which did get banished in the previous game. Gets to draw 3 off of the Demise, discarding the Lovely, which will be reborn off of any non-Labrynth trap being activated. So barely an inconvenience here. We do have the Runick Destruction to deal with the field spell reborning the Lovely, though. But the big welcome could also reborn the Lovely. We're going to be summoning our Huggin. Come forth, Huggin. We're going to be showing the full top 16, my friend. Huggin searching for the Runick Fountain. And let's get ready. With 1 Runick card in the graveyard, we want to draw 3. Stardust Charge Warrior on summon. We are going to be drawing a card, chaining our Naturia Blessing to reborn a card from the graveyard. We're going to use Terrors the Overroot to send the Runick Fountain to set the Camellia. Does that screw up the Naturia Blessing or what? No, we can still summon the Cricket. Okay. But the Camellia is face down if we wanted it face up. So that does screw it up in that sense. Now the Cricket has not even been used yet, so we probably should have set Cricket, not set Camellia. I do think we messed that up. Field spell trigger, come forth and summon our Lovely. Now with our Lovely, we need a monster on the field to leave due to a trap. Then the Lovely is going to be popping a card in the field or in the hand. Dogmatic Punishment is going to be that play. Pop the Charge Warrior, send the Entis. Now we're going to pop 2 more cards. Pop number 1, pop number 2. We could randomly pop a card from the hand. Flash Fire is going to special summon a Huggin to protect our Camellia from being destroyed. Or not, we're summoning a Gary instead. Goes for the field, does not go to randomly pop a card from the hand. Gary, add back our Runick Fountain. And now a Triple Tactics talent, we're going to draw 2 instead of taking control of that Lovely. Not that we should have. And with the Runick Fountain, we are attempting to draw 3. We just have to activate any of these Runick cards, and we got it. First, going to make our Dugaris. Dugaris could draw 2, then discard. We're going to use Big Welcome Labrynth, chaining Runick Destruction onto the field spell, chaining the Welcome Labrynth. Now, why is the field spell important here? Because on the resolution of the trap, it's going to pop a card in the field, taking out the Dugaris before it activates to draw 2 or reborn a monster from the grave. Using the curses to special summon Huggin. This is where we Huggin protect the Dugaris from being destroyed. Right? You faked me out earlier with a Gary. Now we got Huggin. Now we summon, then we try to destroy, then we use Huggin to banish and protect. So now we could use our Dugaris to draw 2. Now, Dugaris is a fiend. So what we could still do is we could use the Ice Dragon Prison, reborn a monster from the graveyard. We don't care what it is, but the Dragon Ice Prison will banish our Ariana and banish the Dugaris. You don't have to banish the monster you reborn. Is he gonna do it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Ariana activates. Chaining the Lady. So Lady will chain to the Ice Dragon Prison. So it is ideal to wait until she's out on the field to set a new trap from the deck. Please do it. Please do it. Stop that Dugaris. Don't let him draw. He let him draw. Oh my Jesus. We could have stopped that, but that's okay. The tree is going to be discarded, searching for a blessing. Does Slumber protect from destruction? Slumber protects from battle and card effect destruction, yes. So Slumber, but the Slumber already activated this turn. Did he Slumber his Dugaris? I don't remember. But he was going to banish the Ice Dragon Prison, which you could not protect from anyway. Donner get poppin'. Now back to you. Pot of E. What a great card to top deck. That is unfreaking believable. We're going to use the Big Welcome in the graveyard to spin back the Runick Fountain. As we're chaining the Runick Destruction, which it does not matter, it's not going to be triggering the field spells as it's going to go back to the hand on the resolution. Naturia Blessing is chain link blocking the Lady. You will not be setting a trap. Now, maybe he thought that Lady could chain to the Big Welcome in the graveyard. It cannot. The Lady states that if a Labrynth card or effect or normal trap's activated, that it could special summon. So the effect of Big Welcome in the graveyard triggers the Lady to be activatable from the hand, but the other effect is, and this is the difference, when a normal trap card is activated, activating the card is playing the card from the hand. Activating the card in the graveyard is activating the effect, not activating the card, which Lady cannot chain to the activation of the effect, only the activation of the card. So Destruction, get poppin', banish off the top of the deck. Goodbye to the field spell. Camellia is going to be double triggering. Reborn a monster from the graveyard plus send for the deck to the graveyard. We're going to Ghastly Glitch again, try to chain our Lady, which we successfully get to do so. Because we preempted that Runick Destruction a bit too early, which could have chain link blocked the Lady. Setting up a Big Welcome for the next turn. And we now have a Back Jack in the graveyard, which is going to look at the top 3 cards of the deck, put them back in any order. Sacred Tree searching for a Naturia card. We do not have our normal summon here. Welcome Labrynth setting itself back onto the field. Cricket's going to be summoning 2 monsters from the deck. Lady chain summoning before it gets negated by the Sunflower. That will be summoned from the deck. A lot is happening here. Oh my Jesus. And when's the Back Jack? Okay, Back Jack is going to be Looking at the top 3, changing the order. Now Backjack whenever could banish to then set a card off the top of the deck. To battle we go. Not activating the Backjack, which would have been negated by the Sunflower. We could just wait. We could activate it during the opponent's turn if we want to. Draw phase skip due to Dugaris. Herald of the Abyss declaring a Dark Fiend, forcing them to send a lady from the field to the graveyard. Setting a Torrential Tribute onto the field. Ain't no way. Runick Fountain. Ghastly Glitch. Pop the Runick Fountain, sending another Backjack from the deck to the graveyard. There we go. Mess with the top 3 cards of our deck, put them back in any order. Cricket into a Torrential Tribute. Slumber gonna protect the Camellia from being destroyed. Wipe the field. And even your lady gets destroyed because it's only protected from the opponent's card effect destruction, not your own. Welcome Labrynth, a Chandelier onto the field. What the heck? And we just triggered the Camellia to reborn a monster from the graveyard. That was not a good idea. Well, we have lovely Labrynth from the graveyard being reborn as we return the Chandelier back to the hand to then activate the lovely Labrynth to, why didn't we activate the lovely Labrynth to pop a card? Am I missing something? It's summoned, it returns, it triggers, we said no. Okay. Oh, Sunflower, you're right. It would have been negated. Correct. Okay, Camellia reborn from the graveyard here as we now go to battle phase to take out the Sunflower so we could then use the lovely to add a trap in the graveyard back to our hand. Absolute insanity. Well, set on the field, that is. Recycling Ghastly Glitch every turn with the lovely Labrynth. Activate, get poppin', which will trigger the lovely, forcing the activation of the curses. Now, what's interesting here is the lovely is going to be choosing on the resolution. So if you chain summon a Huggin, you could then pop the Huggin. You're not choosing to pop the hand or field until you resolve. Non-targeting. 7 cards in the deck. Are we trying to deck them out? Negates. Okay, reset back up the Welcome Labrynth. 4 cards left in the deck. Is there even a chance to survive this? There's no way. 4,400 damage on the field. Lethal at the current field. Finish him up. Nothing in the graveyard to stop him. Damn. Control Labrynth. Stun Labrynth. How do we even want to call this? Playing the Jack back, playing Ghastly Glitch, playing the card of Demise. Definitely a different way to play the deck. Scareclaw versus Leerlusk. Maxi in the standby phase, very well done there. Illusion of Chaos, grabbing our Magician Souls. There's no more hand traps, but how much are we willing to do under a Maxi? Probably not much. Light Heart is going to get Search-In, which is needed for the Splash to be used. While you control a Scareclaw in the extra monster zone, you could send the Splash to negate anything. Negate the effect by sending to the graveyard while we have a Light Heart here. Tanky, come to me, Fractal. Tried to debate an Ash Blossom, did not work. Not that there wasn't one, so there was nothing to work. Now, we're just banishing 3 for Pot of Prosperity. Think about that in your deck. Even if you don't want to banish 6, just banishing 3 is probably good enough to still use the card. We are going to be negating the hard once per turn Fractal, thus the 1 in the hand cannot be activated. Bird Call is going to be adding a Leerlust to then come forth and summon that Leerlust with the Nerval, now making our Recital. We did use up our normal summon here, and with the Recital, we are searching for the Sparrow. Nerval is going to be searching for the Caress, which could discard a card from the hand to special summon. Come forth and summon. Are we going to Droplet the Caress as we banish 2 to summon a Link 2 to get negated? Negate. Now, we could have chained Droplet to... No, we could not chain Droplet to Droplet because we sent a spell. We could have chained a monster effect, which we didn't have one. Otherwise, if he sent a monster, we could have Droplet the Droplet to dodge the negate. But then the newly summoned monster would have been negated, so it's not really a good idea to do that. Double Recital means UDF. We're going to boost back up the Caress, searching for a Wagtail here. We're going to use the Swallow to special summon a monster from the hand, which will trigger the Wagtail to grab a Bird Call to be used next turn. And this is a monster negate plus take control of that monster. Indestructible by battle, indestructible by card effect, UDF. Into the Ensemble Robin, which could spin a special summon monster back to the hand. We battling this up, not quite lethal damage. So we have triple special summon spin, plus hard once per turn monster negate, plus the droplet monster negate. It's about 5 disruptions to play through. Okay. Now, if we read the Scareclaws, they put the restriction, you can only special summon Balone once per turn this way. You know what card doesn't have that restriction? Konami just forgot. The Kashtira cards. You could special summon Fenrir, rob and return it, and then you could just special summon it again. Infinitely special summon. Scareclaw is a bit more balanced. Magician's Soul being spun back to the hand. It is activatable more than once per turn. Spin back the Balone. I do not think so. We're going to spin back the right card. We're going to instead negate and take control. Not searching for a Scareclaw spell or trap. All right, let's link this up to search for our field spell. Is this going to be a droplet negate? Well, we can at least spin back the Lightheart. He will have the field spell to search for a Scareclaw monster, but a big downside to Scareclaw is dealing with their normal summon. If they have no body on the field, they pretty much have no play. Unless their normal summon is a right card searching for an arrival that could reborn a monster from the grave. Harass banishing 4 from the graveyard for an ominous omen Charade. And with that, we have over 9,000 damage on the field. Lethal damage. Now, we had a perfect banless tournament where Fictinium won with this deck. So it's good enough for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! We need for our perfect banless tournament for you to restrict this. What the hell? No hand traps in sight. What he accomplished was negate anything, and all of your opposing monsters are stuck in defense, also yours, and it's unaffected from monsters that activate while in defense. So the counter is Link Summons. Let's go. You gotta flip this up early, otherwise you cannot chain its flip and send to the activation of a card. We're going to negate the effect with the Splash. So it's good to use the Splash here because it does not destroy on the negate, where a card like Griffin Rider does destroy. The Griffin Rider also is activatable in the damage step and destroys. So it's way better than the Splash. Now, Karass is discarding the Sparrow, Tryhard putting it into D, come forth and banish. Are we popping it with the Griffin Rider? Yes, we are. Negate that activation and destroy. So all we have left is the unaffected Tryhard from monsters in defense, which against Lyra Lusk, they could access code Talker it, they could double Dragon Lords it, they can't Zeus it, protected from Zeus, that's something, and it does get banished by Charade Omen. We have nothing to negate, on summon, goodbye to the Tryhards. And the token is destroyable by battle because we don't have Fateful Adventure, which protects it from the first time it would be destroyed. Bird Call adding the Sparrow. We're going to be summoning our Leerlust Cobalt, which will be grabbing a Warbler. Now the Sparrow is going to be special summoning the Warbler. Warbler will summon a monster from the graveyard. 4 bodies on the field. What can we do with this? We can make a Recital to add another monster from the deck to the hand. That monster is going to be... Are we going to be doing a Reflect battle damage play? We got Canary. Canary locks us into Exceeds only by reborning a monster from the graveyard. Double Recital on summon, boosting up the Acro. 3,200, we have 6,000 damage here. Wait, are you playing Leerlusk or Makonko? What is this? The original Makonko. Leerlusk Nightingale is going to be untargetable and be able to attack directly. And we take no battle damage from the reflected attacks. Attack, 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 Quadra attack to the face, reflect the battle damage with the Recital, double swinging into the Acro just like that. Ain't no way. Makonko Leerlust. Isn't a card like Mistake do the same thing? Monsters could not be special summoned from the main deck. Oh. Destroy this card during your second standby phase. So tell me you hate Purrely without telling me. Okay, we are main decking anti-Purrely lockdown. Let's go. Chaos Space, discarding our Dark, grabbing our Lubellion. Lubellion searching for a Magna Hut. Banishing our Dark to trigger its effect to search for a Thunderdragon card. regular Thunderdragon, that is. Tributing for Lubellion to search and set up a branded spell or trap in the back row. First, we're going to be using the Thunderdragon, now setting up the branded Regained. We're now going to be setting a Thunder Monster to then send into the graveyard for the Colossus, then banishing it off the field to then summon a Thunderdragon Titan. Now, Thunderdragon Titan with the newly searched Dragon Matrix will trigger its effect to pop a card on the field. We're now going to also use Thunderdragon Fusion. So, oh my Jesus, think about this. The Regained was triggered to spin back the Colossus to then re-summon the Colossus, the Thunderdragon Fusion, after we summoned a Thunderdragon Titan. This is why Colossus was limited to 1, and we completely got around that restriction with the branded Regained. You cannot add from the deck, and we could quick effect pop a card in the field. You could chain link block it. We have the Jam Extreme Session, which on its own, it does nothing. We're gonna banish from the deck to then banish the top 3 of the opponent's deck, and then we're going to battle. What the heck are we doing? Okay, we're gonna Dragon Matrix. If you use this in the damage step, you can't use the Thunderdragon Titan. So we had to use this outside of the damage step to, wait, this actually works in the damage step. What was I thinking? It doesn't say except during the damage step. That makes it absurd. Thunder Monster effect in the damage step, chain pop a card in the damage step. You can't chain link block it with a normal quick effect card. Ain't no way. That is nuts. Get poppin'. And it plays on the Triple Tactics talent. But you did activate, so I do get to Kurikara. I guess we kind of tricked you to do that. Reborn the Magna Hut. Stealing a Thunderdragon during the end phase, but then gets banished by the effect of the Druid Swarm. Okay. Now we are under the deck lockdown. You can't summon from the deck. You cannot add from the deck. Destroyed during your second standby phase after activation. Interesting. How will that work? Lubellion setting up a card, not searching for it, not special summoning it, so it does work. We're gonna use the Branded Beast to take out the deck lockdown. We're gonna use the Druid Swarm Sense to the graveyard to send the Curry card to the graveyard. And just like that, open field, lethal damage. A very interesting duel. Ogre Dance searching for the Shirakusai. We're waiting with the Ash. When do you Ash? You Ash the Fusion. It is ideal. It summons 2 monsters from the deck. Perfect negate. I don't think so, mate. 1 Ash, and we only have 3 cards in our hand now. So that is great. Could follow up with the Punk Seaman if we had our normal summon, which we do not. Completely screwed his turn 1 with a single Ash. Lubellion sending, searching for the Magna Hut, banishing from the opposing graveyard to summon the Ogre Dance. We're going to be tributing for the Lubellion, which we may use in permanence, which we did not. We're holding on to the Imperm. Goldsark banishing from the deck. That's going to be a Thunderdragon Dark, which will activate to search for a Thunderdragon card. Also, Regained will return the Thunderdragon Dark to draw 1. So draw 1 and search. This is looking horrible for Kashtira. We have Roar. Roar could recycle a Thunderdragon card from the graveyard or in the banish. The Solar's going to send a Thunderdragon card from the deck to the graveyard to just get negated. We could have had, if we had a Bestial on the field, we could make the Chaos Angel. We're going to banish the Roar, which will activate to summon a Thunderdragon from the deck. We now have Hawk. The Solar is negated from summoning a token. And with a light monster used for Synchro, the Chaos Angel is unaffected from monster effects, and on summon, banish the Birth. Be gone. Birth activatable if the opponent activates a spell while they have 3 cards in the graveyard to banish face down. And let's get to it. We also use the Dragonhawk to return 2, draw 2. Very nice. Druid Swarm ready to quick effect banish from either player's graveyard. The only disruption here is a Called by the Grave. So we should be fine. Special summon Fenrir. We are unfortunately under max C though. Magna Hut activating to search during the end phase. You are unaffected from activate effects. You could see that by clicking the card. The dark is not highlighted, the light is. Synchro monsters unaffected from monster effects. So make sure if you forget, just click on the Chaos Angel and check it out. Searching our deck for the Rise Heart. We got Punk Seaman, no Seaman in the graveyard to get banished by the Called By. Foxy Toon is going to get fingered. Negate. Can't discard the Rise Heart. Gets sent to the graveyard by cost, but the effect is the discard, so you don't lose 2 on the negate. Now you have a level 10 Synchro. but we can't deal with the Chaos Angel. Can't make a Chaos Angel of our own either. Continually drawing. Holy moly, we're locked into Exceed only, by the way. We can't even make a Baron to floor. While we can make a level 7, rank 7 Exceed. And what is that good for? What are we making? We're gonna battle first. Are we making a Shangri, then ending? Okay, Shangri, then end my turn. Let's go. I mean, he knows he already lost. It's just, we're just having fun. Okay, Kashtira getting crushed by Thunderdragon. Very well done to both of you, thank you. We have no hand trap in sight. We have Runick Seal, spin back a face-up card. We have Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, negate a card in the field. We have Masquerina, which could link up into, let's say, a Unicorn or a potential Goddess, maybe a Borland during the opponent's turn if we have enough materials. We do have a Bestial to help contribute to the Masquerina Link summon. Secret Password into the Sunny Snitch. That was a debate, but we took the bait of the Droll and Lockbird, mate. No way. Damn. Sunny Snitch, activate to search a live twin. So we tried to bait Ash because we already had one. And by trying to bait Ash, we got outplayed by Droll and Lockbird. Imagine if this card was actually popular. It would really change how everyone plays. Sunny Snitch not getting ashed here. We could ash the Leela, but we don't as we summon a Kisa Kill from the deck to make a Sprite Sprint. We could also ash this. Negate it from sending a level 2 from the deck to the graveyard. Now, what is he sending? He's not sending the Nimble Angler. He's actually sending the Necro Ninja, which when banished would summon itself onto the field with the Baldrake and then would make a Chaos Ruler. So it actually was a pretty good negate. Chaos Space getting rid of the Leveneer, grabbing ourselves a Lubellion. Now, without having to tell you this, you can probably tell Swasi Senpai ended on nothing. This is no disruption. Banishing the Leela to come forth with our Magna Hut. Baldrake is going to be responding to that by banishing the opposing Lubellion before it gets summoned. It does not activate. So you do have to banish before the open game state happens. We're going to be special summoning from the deck, making a level 10 Synchro Shokan. Got to blow my nose real quick. There to the floor, get popping. Gee, I think I have allergies. My eyes are like irritated and I'm like runny. Goodbye with the pop. We are going to then be linking this up into a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon would be searching for the field spell if we had one, as the Collapse Serpent gets added to the hand from the Wyvern Burster being sent to the graveyard, as we now make a Romulus to have something to use with our Boot Sector launch. We discard a card, send the Absorrouter, grab the Rocket Tracer, and we did use up our normal summon already. Come to me, Ravine, and with the Wyvern Burster, it is a free discard. Goodbye, Absorrouter, as we now have the Rocket Tracer to special summon onto the field with our Boot Sector launch. Launching it onto the field, popping the field spell, locking us into Dark Monsters only from the extra deck. Now making a Pisty, but we can't make a baby with the Pisty unless we point to the same spot, which we now do with the Triple Burst Dragon. Triple Burst and the Pisty, reborn the banished Rocket Tracer to now make a Borland Dragon. We have 6,500 damage on the field. Can we boost that up? Safer, it's going to be recycling the Chaos Leveneer in the graveyard, add back to the hand, summon, do not activate, and now it can attack with over 11,000 damage on the field. Just like that, lethal damage 2-0. Swasi, I was rooting for your deck, my friend. We had a bunch of Kaijus ready for the Purrely matchup. Speaking of Purrely, where are the Purrelys at? Draw 2 with our pot of E. We have a Nibiru, very interesting. Droll and Lockbird is why you got to use your quick effects in the draw phase to play around it. We are in the main phase now. We are making ourselves untargetable on that Lily. Is targetable because it's normal summoned. Now Droll's going to stop the My Friend Purrely from adding an additional card from the deck. We're going to be using the Delicious Memory, discarding a special summon of Purrely, even though we could look at the top 3 but can't add anything. Can't add it, that's illegal. We are now going to make a Fucho. Fucho is unaffected from other card effects as it makes a Zeus. We are going to be summoning with the big welcome Labrynth, popping the My Friend Purrely with the field spell. We're Zeusing anyway. Downard Magician. As there's a Downard, we are going to use the Dogmatic Punishment, but it's too large to send an Entis. What do we send? We send the Tri-Brigade Arms, which will then send Garura to draw a card, but we're under Droll and Lockbird, so we can't draw. Was there a better card to send instead of that? I guess that's all we could have really sent. Maybe it would have been better to send a Psyframe Lord Omega instead. Yeah. Okay. Pot of E again, back to back, Pot of E, and we haven't even seen the use of Dimensional Barrier yet. Special summoning Ariana from the deck. A lot of people do not play Ariane. That's interesting. The clock is going to make it so our newly set card this turn is in fact activatable. And that newly set card is going to be our Big Welcome Labrynth. That's going to summon Lovely. And Lovely is going to be activating to pop a card on the fields. What we could have done is summon the clock instead of adding it to the hand. Summon Lovely, return the clock, then pop a card. Let's go, let's go. Lovely is here. Unless we really wanted to recycle one of these. Thinking, maybe we can make an Exceed. Well, we can't. We only have Omega left in our extra deck. Activate, activate, get chain and get pop, and also recycling a trap from the graveyard. The Lovely also makes it you cannot Ash Blossom the Big Welcome or the Welcome Labrynth, which is the main counter to the deck. If you have Ash Blossom, never use it on Ariane. Use it on Big Welcome. That's the big play. Let's go. Now, what are we dealing with? We have the Dogmatic Punishment, which could send the Psyframe Lord Omega to pop a card on the field. Preemptively maxing, not going to even bother trying to play around it. Let's hop into game 2. Actually, I was playing Labrynth earlier, and Purrely did red reboot me, but then they couldn't win that turn, so red reboot just did not matter. Because then you get to set another trap on the deck. Pot of E did not Ash, but is following up with the Droll and Lockbird. So no Ariana play for you as the Lady Labrynth special summons itself onto the field. It's going to be chaining to a trap if we have one activatable. We do not have one activatable to chain to. Declaring spells. Like, dude, yes. You just eradicated a 0 spell opening hand against Purrely. Now the next 3 draws are the spell's going to be destroyed right away. No spell. Now, Purrely could add a spell, and that spell is protected. It's fine. There you go. We got it. We could add that Pretty Memory. Pretty Memory could summon a Lily, and the Eradicator just really wasn't that big of a deal. We are going to be not going into Lily. That's interesting. Purrely, not Lily, into my friend Purrely, because we're going to Zeus. We are Zeus in this field. Now, do we care about Dogmatica? Do we just go straight into Zeus, then wipe the field as is? Or do we play into the Dogmatica Punishment again? Yeah, it went right into Zeus. Remembered the Dogmatica Punishment. Very well done. Did give up having 4 materials, but it's better than having no materials by making a Downard and getting popped by the Dogmatica Punishment. Now, this will successfully send the Tri-Brigade, which will then send the Garura to then draw 1. Oh boy, and he's got that Pot of E. 7 cards left in the extra deck here. Main decking Fenrir. Fenrir is pretty good in Labrynth. Ash Negate. Fenrir is a body on the field to return back to the hand with a Big Welcome. Fenrir, searching another Fenrir, is a discard fodder for your Chandelier or Torby. I like it. Get swinging. Now, we open up Triple Leap, and they are really not doing too well. We're going to leap our Purrelys back in the deck. Hopefully we draw one of them. Oh, that sucks. How many more turns on the Eradicator? You draw a spell, it dies. So we did decrease our chance of that happening by returning the Purrelys at the end of the opponent's turn, but it's just too late. As I said, discard Fenrir as discard fodder for the Big Welcome Labrynth. Now, the clock is going to be triggering its effect because you used a card to discard. We're also going to use the Big Welcome right then and there, summoning the Lovely. Lovely, return a card back, pop the Leap on the fields, and then during the next turn, we could pop the card in the hand. Absolute insanity. Torby being triggered because a monster left the field from a trap effect, summoning itself onto the fields. What the hell? Now, Torby activating during the next turn will add back the clock, and then the clock will activate, and then it could activate the Big Welcome that we're adding back to the fields with the effect of the Lady, or I should say the Lovely. Now, of course, we don't even need that when we have lethal damage. So I hyped up Dimensional Barrier countering Purrely, but Purrely just countered itself by not drawing too well. Mayakashi. We got the Pretty into the Lily. Let's speed this up, grab in the street since we already have the my friend Purrely. Pretty bad turn for Purrely. You know, not the worst since we do have the leap. Cross out Designate, negate the Maxi. Not going to even finger it. We're holding the called by for a follow-up turn would be actually pretty good if we can get that Lily or Purrely into the graveyard. Mayakashi return. Come to me, Hadjon. Hadjon is a 1-card opener. Gonna special summon Daki. Now, this is gonna be the Synchro Climb. Daki will summon, then Synchro. Daki will summon, then Synchro. Link 4! Yes! Daki come forth and summon, and when a monster is summoned from the graveyard, we can negate a monster on the field. Get negated. Big enough to swing over. Now, how do we deal with an unaffected from activated effects Nor? Do we have a way? Tengu Beam reborn from the graveyard, pop in the back row with the effect of the Link 3 Yuki Onna, which is a quick effect reborn from the grave. How do we deal with it? I saw it. Did you see it? Don't look. We cheated a little bit. X Purrely Nor spinning. Gia not during the duel. Using the effect of the Yuki Onna, reborning the Sushiguma. Sushiguma mill the top 3 cards of the deck. Now we have Yuki Mutsume, which doesn't have a restriction on special summoning. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except Mayakashi monsters. Wait, we're now affected. What the heck? We started spinning all of our materials away. Ain't no way. Goodbye Daki, goodbye Tengu. I think he started fearing the incoming goddess. We knew it, the impending goddess is here. Wait, actually, this is an illegitimate summon. Because it was summoned with the Purrely Leap, it's gone during the next end phase. So it's gone right now, which means you're supposed to make Zeus with it. Did we just realize that it's going away now? Whoop, didn't make Zeus, okay. Yuki, come forth. Sending Mizuki from the deck to the graveyard. Mizuki not a hard once per turn. Reborn, Yuki Onna from the graveyard. Damn. We are Mayakashi. I like 40-card Mayakashi. This is very nice. Reborn, the Gasha Dokuro, which is going to be unaffected the turn it's summoned, right? How long is it unaffected for? Unaffected by card effects this turn. How do we not have lethal damage? Ain't no way. We're going to add the Max C with our Small World. Interesting. Get 8,200, but he gains some life. That's what I believe happened here. Pot of P, digging deep. Now, if we have the Yuki Onna in the graveyard, we could trigger the effect of the Yoko to pop a monster. We're going to add Lily. Lily is here. We could droplet negate, then Yuki Onna to then pop it. Or we could just leave it because it's fully negated. He could make an Anima. Anima could suck up the Gasha Dokuro if we play it. I did have the incorrect score on the screen right there. And just like that, Purrely Not has surrendered. Hosdrachen taking an epic game 1. Get ready for game 2. We'd have Ash. Ashing a Lily. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it is much better to Ash the My Friend Purrely or Chainlink block a Plump, trying to attach a quick play. That's also a valid play, I'd say. And we are unaffected even if we activate to spin. Big draw 3. Imperb no good, absolutely dead. Draw 1, draw 2, draw 3. Pot of D, no Ash after that, draw 3, but we are going to max early. Called by is not going to even bother fingering the C. Interesting. Are we going to try to deck him out? Like, is that the play? We could. We could deck him out if the Nor doesn't spin the Daki, which it's not doing. Every Synchro and Link summon is draw 2. Draw one, draw two, draw one, draw two, draw one, draw two. 20 cards left. Are we gonna start spinning? Now we're spinning. Oh, I see what you're doing. Let's not do that, thank you. Let's hop into game 3. Pot of D. We do have Imperm. Do we Imperm the Hodjon? I think that is a pretty damn good Imperm. If you control Mayakashi card, you could special summon this and then send the Daki from the deck to the graveyard. So we are still okay. Playing through the disruption. All right, so this is quite interesting here. We do have quick effect, pop a monster and negate a monster. Max C within the main phase because we have the triple tactics talent waiting for the main phase to activate our quick plays. Chaining Yuki Onna to summon a monster from the graveyard. So we're going to activate to pop whatever is summoned. Yep. Yoko is here. Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3. So actually we want to Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3. So 3, negate, 2, pop, you are negated. If that's what we want to do, right? Hold up, what did he just protect it with the Purrely Happy Memory is actually protecting it from destruction. So we pop Purrely, we negate Lily. So get triggering, activate, 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 negate you, pop you. That's what we gotta do. Negate, and pop. And called by, negate the snow from searching for a bro. Interesting duel we have here. Finger the snow, goodbye. Yup, very well done, non-target destruction. Get negated. That hard once per turn effective searching is no more. And the card is negated, not the effect. Thus, it could not exceed with the graveyard unless we get another Lily on the field, which we should be able to. My friend Purrely revealed triple delicious memory. We're out of disruption. I mean, that's it. That's what I'm thinking. The Yuki Onna is a hard once per turn. This could negate again if another monster is reborn from the graveyard, but how's it going to be triggered? I think it's up to twice per turn. Oh boy, yeah, this is an issue. That is actually going to be lethal damage. We are going to protect the Daki from being destroyed by battle, absorbing up the double delicious, just like this. Let's do it. Boost, boost, 4,400, and we're gonna have triple attack. Attack number 1, attack number 2. Suck it up, return a back row back if there was one, non-target. Boost, 5,000, also continually reducing the opponent's monster by half of its attack. Grabbing a pretty, lethal damage. Damn. There was no more cards that we could equip onto, so that was the third and final attack. You only get 4 attacks if you made sure to equip double happy, but we did double delicious instead. Well. Hastrachan, I appreciate it greatly. Thank you. Let's hop on another one. And that is the conclusion of the top 16. We'll have the top 8 video and grand finale up next. Make sure you watch, like, comment, subscribe as much as you can. Thank you very much. Let's go.